Welcome to the Performer Radio Show. Each week, we interview some of the most interesting people in the fashion and entertainment industries. Fashion and entertainment industries. Beautiful models, singers, comedians, dancers, fashion designers, actors, beauty queens, and many more. Right here on the Performer Radio Show.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Megan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, let's see your pretty face. Move that microphone off just to the side a little bit. The other way. So there, yeah,
right,
there you go. Okay.
My left is
Don't
my
want you
right.
hiding today. No. Everyone needs to smile on their face and they're like, this is the season, man. We all live for this.
Season.
That's right. How was your week?
It was very busy. I just got back from Dean College. We finished our last class of the semester, so they did their final.
Oh yeah, I saw you
today,
posting about that.
Yes.
How you were sad or something
I'm so
to that.
sad.
Yeah.
But I'm so blessed. It was such a good semester, so I'm super excited for them to go on break. Got to watch a little bit of their basketball game, and now I'm here. So 'tis the season.
Oh, okay.
So excited.
Very good. And what are your plans for Christmas now? What are you going to be doing?
Honestly, I usually hang out with my parents all the time, so hanging out with the fam. I actually am just going to be laying low, making my plans for 2024, and hopefully creating that vision board and getting a little creative. So maybe trying to build a gingerbread house. I lose every year to my brother, so
Okay.
whatever
what?
works out.
Well, maybe next week or something like that. We'll play. What I did is I did a segment for Wicked Bites as well as El Mundo Boston on Ginger Betty,
Okay.
who's a gingerbread house maker up the street from here. And boy, does she get some really tasty treats, let me tell you. She's been here too, and she brought us this big giant gingerbread cookie. A couple of years ago, she made a real life-size gingerbread house, and it was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the slides in for the Christmas slides. That's okay. We'll do it next week. But you can see behind you, I've started decorating. Actually, turn your chair the other way. I get my little
There
LED
you
Christmas
go.
right behind you right there. That's okay. People can't see it. No, move the other way. Towards your right. There it is
we
behind
go.
you. That's all right. It's hidden. We'll get it from another camera angle some other time. So have you done most of your shopping yet, or what's the deal?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I'm definitely a last-minute shopper, just like my dad. So thankfully, we have a lot of small businesses in our community. We're with some small business entrepreneurs here today. So hopefully, we'll get some Christmas shopping done soon.
That's right. I mean, okay, we have the guests coming up. They own a boutique at the Copley place. And, of course, it's retail. It's bricks and mortars retail. How much of your shopping have you done online versus, in a store?
I usually get everything in store. My brother and dad are very picky. So I usually go into the store, look at it, buy it. Same thing with my mom. My mom knows all her Christmas gifts already. Usually she's with me while buying the Christmas gifts, and that's kind of what ended up happening this year. So
Okay.
I'm a store buyer. Amazon kind of scares me a little bit. So.
It really does?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been mostly Amazon lately. There's a few things I've gotten in the stores. When it's really personal, I really like to go to the stores. But I'm loving not just Amazon, any online company that is convenient for. I just don't have the time, and I know that it's easier now than it was pre-pandemic to go shopping. A little bit easier than it was, but I still have horror stories from the days of the 80s and 90s when the malls were packed, and it was just a total nightmare. So. It's easier and more convenient for someone like me who just doesn't have a full schedule. But to each his own. I still do like to shop in the regular stores for some items. So I bought some nice jewelry last year for someone, which I went to Zales for, and I got that. So yeah, that's still something I like to do once in a while. Okay, so coming up, this is going to be, although it's Christmas theme right now, this is going to be about the Fashion Awards this year, the 2003 Boston Fashion Awards. And we get some winners here tonight, and they're going to get some bling to take home with them. I'll call it bling, but more than likely they'll be putting it on their shelves. It's house bling or shelf bling, or what, I don't know what you want to call it. But they're coming up in just a few seconds, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we got our first set of guests. Stay tuned.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers. He connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Okay, here we go, throw it!
Yeah. You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.
Models, singers, comedians, dancers, and so much more. This is the Performer Radio Show. Performer Radio Show.
Okay, we're back from the break. So get the Christmas music going in the background. So, you were at the Boston Fashion Awards this past year. You told me that. And did you have a good time?
I did have a good time. Great
Good.
time. My first time there. And so got to see a lot of amazing designers and a lot of amazing models and just a great Monday night filled with great energy for sure.
Very good. So, the three people that are coming up, they're part of the BOGO Split boutique and store in Copley Place. And originally, when we first started this year's Fashion Awards, they were just on the outside looking in. But then we talked and they said, "Hey, we'd like to be more part of it, you know." And they came on board, and it was awesome. They bring a lot to the table. So I'm going to introduce the three right there. Whoops, there's not three. There's two.
Where's Kayla?
Kayla
Where's
disappeared
Kayla
on us. So let's see if we can bring her in. I think I have to add her camera. So in the meantime, let's talk to, let's see, maybe we'll get her. No, just, okay, she's not in that either. That's my fault. I'd probably just add her 1 second. But let's talk to Kennelie and Adriana right now.
Hello.
So guys, welcome. You've been busy this year. Extraordinarily busy. There's Kayla right there.
There I am.
We'll put her right here.
I was saving the best for last.
That's right. That's right. Always the case. Always saving the best for last. There you go. She looks so cute there too. Show me your hat, Kayla. Show me your hat.
Freaking cold. This
Freaking
is what
cold,
I'm going to be
yes.
wearing until April. So
There you go. All right.
shout out to Oblage Boutique.
You notice what I did was I put all the ladies get the bigger boxes there. We shove all the guys on this side. Very, very nice and uniform now.
We're special, Megan.
It's the guys. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You are. Absolutely. So, Merry Christmas, guys. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
How's the season so far? Has it really been pretty busy at the store? What's going on?
Yeah, it's been busy. Started Black Friday.
Yeah.
So from Black Friday until now, it just we've added a lot more vendors. So we're up to 45 vendors at Copley. That's just in store, but you can also shop us online as well, which has over 180 right now on our online. So if you download the BOGO Split app, you can shop local and you don't have to leave your house. But if you want to come by and visit us, there's a whole bunch of vendors for you to shop from in store at Copley.
So technically what I was talking about before, you're the best of both worlds.
Correct.
That's
Yep.
pretty cool. So 45 in the store.
Yeah.
How do you fit 45? How much space does each one like one little square foot? I mean, I'm sure it's more than that, but well, okay. You have jewelry vendors,
Yeah,
hats,
we have everything.
a little bit of everything,
Yeah,
right?
so we have jewelry, clothing. We just added a fragrance line. So there is a local host. He's known, his name is Host Falson. He's known for hosting a lot of events. You guys might have seen some of his TikToks, YouTubes. He just launched a fragrance line and he just joined us in Copley Place. Actually, last Friday was his launch event. So we have a little bit of that as well. So anything you need, shoes, anything you need, you can find at BOGO Split, and it's all local. So, really supporting your community. And that's what keeps our community going. That's the heart of our city. So make sure to come by and check us out.
Definitely. So
No
you're located
excuses.
in the Copley Plaza, in the Copley Mall.
Yeah.
Is it Copley Mall, Copley Place? What is it?
Copley Place Mall.
Copley
is-
Place
yeah.
Mall. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up. And that's really easy to get to. It's literally just right down in the middle of town, near Prudential. It's near everything. Boylston Street. It's off Huntington though. That's the cross street, right?
Yeah.
Huntington and
Huntington,
Berkeley?
Dartmouth.
Oh, okay, Dartmouth.
Yeah.
Okay. You've been there for what, a year now? That location. Then previously you were Assembly Square.
Correct. Yeah,
right,
we were
okay.
at Assembly for 2 years.
2 years.
so,
Okay.
yeah.
And you're kind of looking forward to more adventure in the very near future, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
More to come.
We won't let
Stay
the
tuned.
cat
Yeah.
out of the bag just yet. Okay, but I'm privy to it, so I'm not. Don't ask me because I won't tell.
We're always
I'm a
cooking
vault.
something up.
Always
you know?
cooking something. That's the same with me right now. And next week I probably have a pretty big announcement to make about the future, about where these broadcasts are going to be. Okay, so you guys came up with this concept then about, 3 or 4 years ago, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Kennedy, you do a lot of the graphics. How much is that? A lot of work for you? Because every time a designer comes in, I mean, you're gonna have to get nose to the grindstone. And what's your process? How do you handle it?
No, I mean, there's great apps. Oh,
There you go. Sorry.
No, there's great apps out there that helps me, make cuts, make videos. So yeah, I use CapCut, if anyone knows what that is. So and Canva, for flyers. And Adriano helps me with that too. So yeah, it's a team effort for everything we do. So yeah.
How much material? I mean, do you have to go take pictures, or
Yeah.
does the designer provide them for you? What do you have to do in addition to just the designs and the graphics?
Right. No. Whenever anyone comes to our store, we do our own videos. We take our own shots, and that's it. And we work with what we got. Yeah. We don't. Besides the designers bringing their stuff in the store, we don't really ask them for much. Just pay your bills and bring your stuff in, and that's it. We take care of the rest.
Okay. Megan, you wanted to say something? It looks like you wanted to say something.
Oh, no, but that's exactly it. A lot of the designers they're from across the region. And so, all across New England, there's folks that, just came from Mass Fashion Week. There's folks that come from Rhode Island. And so it's just a great place to be. I actually met BOGO Split back in 2020. So it's been a long 3 years, but a lot of growth on both ends. So I'm super excited to be here with them.
Cool.
I know the backstory is Megan's your very first modeling event was with us, right?
Yeah, it was at a castle. It was at the Mark Castle in Connecticut, and it was with a brand. It was for Jazz Couture with Julie Jean Media and BOGO Split, and they planned this photo shoot in a castle, and that's how I met the whole BOGO Split team. And it's
I
been
saw
3
those
years
pictures.
of growing in events.
You had some
yeah.
cars there too, right?
Yeah. That was the whole theme.
Okay.
Just,
All right.
Yeah, luxury
I think
cars.
Marlena was part of that shoot, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was. Okay.
Yeah.
So you all met before you met me. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I wasn't invited.
We were saving the best
I
for
wasn't
last,
invited.
Mike.
Yeah, okay, right. Thank you. But I'm glad you all met and got together and collaborated. There's a lot of collaboration in this business, obviously. And I tell people if the collaboration benefits you, and if it's not paid, if it's a trade and it benefits you, then do it. That's how you meet and network and generate future income.
I mean,
okay.
Honestly, I think our goal as entrepreneurs is to get the money from the consumer, because that adds up way better than trying to get money from your peers. It's a lot of people trying to trade services for money when we need to be trading assets, to each other. So that works way better. Our goal is to figure out how to get money, from and give out services to the consumer. That should be the only goal, and be the only way entrepreneurs here are getting money. But if you're doing anything, if it's not that way, then you're doing it backwards, and that's how a lot of entrepreneurs stay in relationships, because when you start getting money involved and people not paying, now you breaking relationship and you lose assets that someone else and connections that someone else may have, and so it just get messy. So
Yeah, we don't want things to get messy, that's for sure. But I mean, I suppose it's a case-by-case basis for some people, too. Not everybody has the same business model. Everyone has a different business model of what they want to do. So, I mean, in some cases, yes, you want to, go for the consumer dollars. In other cases, you might want to go for corporate dollars or whatever the case may be. But in some cases, well, let's say a model wants a portfolio done and there's a photographer. The photographer is going to charge them for that, not necessarily do a trade, because for the photographer, there might not be any trade that he could benefit from.
Right, exactly.
Okay,
of course,
there wouldn't be anything that the model could bring to him unless he or she was famous. So it works in different ways for different professions, different people in the industry.
Yeah.
But the good thing is that the Boston scene is doing well.
Yeah.
Especially since COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously everyone they were apprehensive about what was going to happen, and for 3 years it was a little rough for some people, but I think people are starting to bounce back now very healthily. The Fashion Awards this year was an indication that people are back on their game. There's a lot of people that came, and it was on a Monday night, so I know that they were definitely there for networking and to meet people that they haven't seen before or make connections, which is what we really are trying to do with this event each and every year. So you guys were there and you were helping out this year too, and I want to thank you publicly. You guys did a phenomenal job. I had to draft Kennedy and Adriano at the last second to be at the front, because we kind of messed up a little bit. We had ushers, but they didn't know what to do, and they were showing people to their seats. So it was a little bit of a confusion there, but thank you very much, guys. And of course, Kayla was backstage with all that craziness, trying to help manage. She became a stage manager during the show, and we had to make up a little time, and she had the idea of sending out 2 models at a time, 2 looks at a time, and that worked out quite well. So we got caught up a little bit on our timing. Timing is everything in these shows, because we are set to end at a certain time, and if we start late or go long, that's actually more troublesome for us, and people want to get home too. So we want to get home, but we don't get home till 4 or 5 in the morning. But that's very helpful to have you guys on board. And before that, we had the casting at the Bogo Split location in Somerville, which turned out very well. One of the guests coming up was there at the casting as well. And I get to meet more people and have more of a hand in the selection process, which I don't usually do every year. I usually leave that to somebody else completely, but I liked being a part of it this year. So what's the near future? I mean, aside from the holidays, what's the near future like for you guys? What do you got planned? You got some smaller events coming up? You guys seem to have something, maybe not like a major event, but something going on almost each and every week at your store. What's up? What's up for the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot coming up with all the new vendors coming in. We always encourage everybody when they come in, like Kenley said, we make it easy for them. You know, you just bring your products, we do the rest. We help them with launch events. So you'll see a lot of newer brands coming out with their launches or just launching at Copley Place. So that's coming up in the next couple of weeks through December. In January. Tomorrow we're going to be at the Liberty Hotel. This will be our last showcase for 2023 for Fashionably Late, and then we're going to pick up for the 2024 season. We have a new bag designer, Camille Ardant. She will be doing her launch on Saturday. Oh my God, we have so many brands. I can't even think of everything we have, but we also
you wish
have,
you could list them all, right?
I know.
You'll probably forget a few, and then somebody will get mad at you.
Exactly.
You don't want that.
We also have a sip and shop that we're going to be doing on December 16th on Saturday at Copley, and that is sponsored by Inspiro Tequila, which is a tequila brand that is woman-owned. So we're really excited for that.
Very good. Well, I'd like to hear that.
So
get them all liquored up so they spend more money. Very good.
Yeah.
Very smart. Well, that's great. I mean, you guys have done an amazing job. You're also very nice people, and I'm glad I met you. I actually met you at the Liberty, and you came right up to me, Kayla, and just started talking to me. I was like, wow, this girl's got some gumption. You know, that's an old-fashioned word, I know. She got some drive.
She knew who you were. She's like, that's the man to me.
I know. That was that felt really good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no, I do my research.
When somebody comes up to me and starts talking business, I'm going to stop everything I'm doing and talk to them, because that's what I'm there for. I'm not there to just show my face. As a matter of fact, I'm not. Who wants to see this face? I want to talk business. That's the only reason I'm there. I want to network and meet some people. So thank you very much for coming up. And it's looking like it's a very fruitful moment in time. They call that a meet cute in the movies, sort of. It's a professional meet cute. You know how things blossom from that one point in time, which is pretty cool.
No, I mean, the way things are looking in the fashion scene, everything's just aligning. So everything just looks like it's meant to be. You know, we're meeting new people every single day that's just striving to be better people. Just you know, it's just been an amazing scene, and yeah, no, everything's just looking like lovely.
Very good, very good. Actually, I'm going to go to this guy right here for a second. We need to have you say something. So I you know, you've been with the brother and sister now for quite a few years. What's it been like for you all this time?
Man, everyone always confuses me for their brother. Like, I've had so many people come up and call me Kennelly, so you know, it's been fun. It's interesting. You know, there's some cool cats. You know. But yeah, no, man, it's just been a great journey. Started all of this with Kennelly since high school, so we've been best friends.
Oh, you guys went to high school together? Huh?
Yeah, Kayla went to the same high school.
Oh,
as
wow.
us too.
Well, you kind of like our brothers and sisters if you've known each other for that long, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we got something special for you. Megan's holding it right now. So let's. Who are we going to pass it on to?
I'm gonna let Adriano do the honors.
Okay, very good.
I think
Adriano, this is going to you then.
The one the last time, so be
pass
careful
it. Pass
with
it along. Pass along. Now, don't forget, that is lead crystal, so don't drop it. Although we got a carpeted floor here, so there you go. So let's key in on you. There's going to be some foam in there when you open it up, so be careful.
It's like an early Christmas present.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you got some bling here.
Wow, look at that.
Oh,
All right, there you go.
Nice.
All right. You can.
Thank you.
That's for Retailer of the Year. Now, you won last year too.
Yeah.
So you got 2 of them now, okay, which is great. And you know, you guys deserve it.
Thank you.
Your concept and everything else has been phenomenal, and you're helping so many. I think I want to show it to them again. Here we go. You're helping so many designers, and that's very important. It gives them, just like we do with the Fashion Awards, it gives them notoriety, recognition, and you know, actual sales, which is phenomenal.
No,
you know?
it's the biggest problem for entrepreneurs is marketing and finding a way to be noticed and be monetized. That's I had a designer tell me, like, the only problem there is in Boston is no one can figure out how to, you know, get money, you know, like make money. And I'm like, you know what, this is what is we're thriving, like, we know we're gonna figure out is how to fix that problem, because that will make us king, you know. Like, if we hold the key to that problem, then so I told this designer, we're gonna make sure you get paid, because trust me, if we could get everyone paid, we become the solution to the biggest problem that artists are having in the city. So now we love what we do, we get what we need to do, and we're doing it.
Very good. Let's end on that note for you guys. So we're going to be going to a video right now with that's going to feature one of our next guests. So Adriano and Kennelly will be going bye, but they'll still be here. We can be off camera, and we're going to swap out them with makeup artist Mark White and model/runway model Katie. So we'll be right back. Watch this video and see Katie in action, which is very cool, by the way. And then we'll have those guys as guests in just a second. We'll be right back.
Interviewing the best talent Boston has to offer. This is the Performer Radio Show.
Okay, we're back. And as promised, Katie, you want to move to your left a little bit more so we can see you more on the screen? There you go, and move in closer, honey. There you go. All right, great. So on our lower screen right there is Mark White, makeup artist. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And Katie, I think the first time I saw you was at the Fashion Awards, I think a year ago, back at the Liberty, when we did it at the Liberty in 2022. And I said, who is that? And I know that Marlena Garcia cast you for the event. And I said, wow. I mean, usually petite girls, and I'm sorry to say you're petite, but petite girls don't own the runway like you do. And I just didn't take long to notice you, and then started following you, and you've done amazing in 2020, amazing stuff in 2023. So thank you both for coming here, and we're going to talk about your careers one at a time here. So let's start with Mark. Mark, you've been a makeup artist for a while now. So how did you get started in the business? What was your motivating factor? Tell us your backstory.
Sure. So I am an art nerd at heart, and I think I was so attracted to doing makeup and beauty work just by, I guess, seeing the women in my family. And I think about makeup and beauty as art. I like to draw, I like to paint, I like to sculpt. I am an all-around creative, so I think that's what drew me to it. I started doing makeup professionally in about 2013, but things started really to take off for me in 2019, 2020 during COVID, when everyone was kind of in the house. I was working. I started organizing my own shoots, styling them, doing the makeup, doing the hair, coming up with the concepts. So those COVID years were really instrumental for really launching my professional career as a makeup artist and getting where I am today, sitting right in front of you guys.
Very good. Now, you've done a lot of magazine covers and editorials and stuff like that. What do you like to do the most? What's your favorite thing to do?
I am, like you, a behind the scenes guy. I love being able to go into a studio and do my work and go home. I am not an in front of the camera guy too often. I like being behind the scenes and making
I
people
can see
beautiful
you
and going
hiding
home.
behind the microphone a little too, Mark. I know how that feels, but yeah, I mean that's great though. I mean, listen, it's great being in front of the camera, no doubt, but that wouldn't happen if there weren't people behind the camera.
Right.
Okay, and so when you say you style and you as well as the makeup, I mean that's important. People don't realize how important a stylist and a makeup artist are to the shoot. Very integral, just as important as the photographer and the model. Okay, and that's they don't get as much credit as they should. Okay, honestly, and I know how hard you guys work. What was your first gig that you were like, I'm definitely going to keep doing this, or you were very proud of?
I think my first gig in fashion that I knew that this was something that I really wanted to pursue was with the Privé event brand. I had worked one of their shows very early on and had a really great experience. And from there, I began to work with the brand, became their key artist for, I think, 3 seasons, working with them and organizing those shows and running a team, which was a challenge in itself and one that I was more than up to taking on at the time, but didn't think I was. But it was an amazing, amazing thing. And just, I am big on tangible things. So seeing that show that I helped organize and put the makeup looks together and the hair looks and seeing those models go down the runway, that was a moment for me where it's like, yeah, I want to keep doing this. I think I'm actually kind of good at this now.
Very good. Very good. So you learned most of your craft then during the pandemic is what you said, right?
I think...
Or you fine-tuned it maybe?
I think I honed my craft during the pandemic
very
for
good.
sure.
Did you have anyone to practice on during that time? Because you weren't supposed to be touching people at that time. How did that work out for you?
I was working. I mean, I have a very close-knit group of friends that, we would get tested and we would have the COVID tester readily available. And it's like, hey, I want to practice this look. It'll just be you and I in the studio. I'll shoot it. Or I just really want to work this look out. And we would find the time to really work on it during COVID.
Very good. All right. I want to show some of your work right now. So we can talk. You can talk about it.
Sure.
So, okay, here's a couple of them right here.
Yes.
What are we looking at here?
So we are looking at a product shoot and just a random little fashion editorial shoot. These are both taken by Tracy Crosby, an amazing, amazing photographer that I love working with. And this was born out of, again, just making connections, as you guys referenced earlier in the show, making connections. We met through a random networking event and found out that we had some of the similar interests as far as our artistry, and we got together and we still work together a lot. But those are some beautiful images that she took for me.
Very good. Okay, let's go to the next ones here.
Maddie and Mary. It's amazing.
Yeah, we've had Maddie at the Fashion Awards too.
I can't say enough about Maddie. She is such an amazing model. She is such an amazing fashion designer. She is someone that I am very lucky to call a friend and just someone that I get a chance to chat with every time and pick her brain. Even though she is significantly younger than me, she has such a great insight as to, proportions in fashion and what looks good behind the camera. She's someone that I really, really look up to, as well as Mary O'Keefe, an amazing stylist and model that I'm also lucky to call a friend of mine. Beautiful, beautiful images as well.
So is that a dress that was just kind of lifted up, or how? What is it?
So that was a picnic table cloth, I believe.
Okay, and just kind of threw it up behind
Yes.
it? That's interesting. What an interesting concept. Was that something just like spur of the moment? It's like, hey, let's just throw this up in the air and see what happens.
It was a concept that Mary created all her own with, I believe, Shell Photography. And it was an amazing concept. Again, I am so lucky to be a part of these people's imagination, and I keep talking about tangible results. It's so amazing to me to be a part of things that come from someone's mind that they think up that turn into these really beautiful tangible images and things.
Excellent. I think we got the issue with the background music. Okay, let's go. What do we got here?
This is 2 shots, 1 shot photo done by Bao Long Song, which was amazing. The black and white image. He's an amazing photographer that I've also been super lucky to work with.
Yes, he won the Fashion Awards last year.
Yes. Amazing, amazing photographer. And the next shoot is with one of my good friends, an amazing model who just actually moved to New York to kind of strike out there, Laura. This was taken by Scott Rivers, actually in the loading dock of my studio in Stoughton.
Oh, okay. Your studio's in Stoughton. I did not realize that. So let's go to the next one here. I get the music fixed anyway. Okay. Okay, here we go. The one on the right really interests me, but let's talk about the one on the left first.
The one on the left was also a fashion editorial shot by Scott Rivers. This was featured in a magazine. I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head, but love it. The model that you actually see in the front, Jasmine, in the black scarf, is probably one of the first major models that I started working with, and I credit her for really helping me to see that I could do this in a professional way. She saw me on Thumbtack, where I was offering makeup services very early on. It had to be maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and just kind of plucked me out of obscurity for a major shoot. You see Jasmine everywhere in Sephora and Dr. Dennis Gross ads on TV. She's just amazing.
Now, the one on the right, is that Honey?
Yes, that's Honey.
Okay, I thought that must have been sticky for her afterwards. But okay, explain what's going. Was this your idea or somebody else's?
This was a fun shoot that Megan Joy Photography and I thought of together. We had a concept that we both really liked and spent a lot of time figuring out how we were going to make this happen. And this was actually shot in Megan's kitchen. And we, set a backdrop up and actually came up with this beautiful, beautiful shot right there.
Wow, that's pretty phenomenal right there. When you come up with these concepts, do you like get it in your head and then you can't wait to do it, or it's like, or do you just kind of, a lot of it is like, let's just try this at the spur of the moment? How does it come to you?
I guess I'm very meticulous in coming up with a concept. I'll think about something, but then I'll also spend maybe the next month or few weeks obsessing over how I can make it happen. So they're born, I guess the ideas come really quickly, but actually to get it to fruition does take a little while for me.
Okay, very good. All right, so that was phenomenal work. Thank you for sharing that. What do you think is the driving factor for you to stay in this industry? What is it about this industry that you love so much?
Community and connection. I think outside of beauty, I have spent the last 11 years of my life giving back to the community. I've spent the last 11 years working with unhoused populations in Massachusetts and rehousing families and individuals. So giving back in acts of service are really, really big for me. And I find that still translates to doing hair and makeup. I mean, I do a lot of charity events. I do a lot of things that are considered acts of services to me. So that's my driving force.
I actually met you at a charity event.
Yes.
The first time I met you. Megan, when you first went into the modeling field, did you know how important makeup artists were? What was it like? Or did you just like, I'll do my own makeup or something? What were you thinking when you first had a makeup artist do your makeup?
So when I first did it, I was a pageant girl still at the time, and so makeup was so intricate because it really was about bringing out the natural features on your face. Especially when you're doing pageantry makeup, it's all about just really enhancing what you already have, and then of course, packing on a little bit of extra blush to contrast with those harsh lighting. But then going into the modeling sphere, I feel like makeup became more fun for me in the sense of you can really tell a story through your makeup looks, through your hair looks, through the concepts. And so I totally agree with Marcus here on talking about, creative directing. You can really tell a story based on how you look. And I think it's a beautiful thing to, not only feel confidently beautiful in the pictures that you take, but of course,
the pageant world, you have more control over your look, your makeup. So you tell the makeup artist what you're trying to do, or they can give you some suggestions. But in the modeling world, it's usually either the designer or the stylist that's telling the makeup artist, this is what I want you to do. Do you do any pageant work, Mark? Just curious.
I haven't. I find that is a difficult world to get into. I think it's very connection based, and it's something that I would love to do, but I know it's definitely very connection based and something that you have to really work towards and know somebody to know somebody.
Do you find, Mark, that most of the people giving you direction are either designers or stylists, or do you kind of say, I'll freelance, or does the model give you some suggestions?
Usually it is either production or the photographer that I take direction from. A lot of times it is the designer as well. When I work runway, I am very, very in tune with the designer and what their expectations are. And, that in a runway, the designer runs the show along with production. They're letting me know what the looks are, and it's my job to execute those looks for them and make them the best that they could possibly be.
Yeah, and in some situations you have to be pretty quick too.
Yes.
And that's something you probably have to work on as you go along. What's the quickest turnaround you've had that you can remember?
Usually the standard is a 30-minute face, so I have gotten really good at turning out a face in 30 minutes.
Excellent. Okay, and the one we saw eight samples there, but the one look that you think just defined you as an artist, do you remember that?
I think it was the honey look. I think it was something that, I
Very
got to
unique.
take full control of, the concept and really make it my own, which defines the type of work that I like to do. I generally am a little bit of a control freak, so I do tend to like to work on my own and set my own concept up and do the hair, do the makeup, and just make sure that the concept is all of my own.
Yeah, you're multi-talented, basically. And creators, I always tell people that creative people usually are creative in more than one area.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just proved that. So, Katie, how are you? You've been quiet because I haven't really talked to you. Why don't you move a little more to your left? Your left. You're there. You go. We'll have you more in the camera. There you go. Okay. So welcome to Performer. That was a pretty cool video that we saw. That was from the 2022 Fashion Awards. And right now I'm going to show people a little. First of all, how long have you been modeling? What got you started in this?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So I growing up in Vietnam, and when I was a kid, like 5 years old, I always wanted to be a model. I always want to wear my mom high heel and pretend that I have a long hair and stand in front of the mirror and do catwalk. But back then, it's just about it's just about my skill, and it's never think that one day I'm gonna stand on the stage. But then when I moved here, and actually in 2018, I joined a pageant, and it's for Miss Vietnamese in Boston, and I got the crowd. And from there, it's like my modeling just take off, that by involved into community and see a lot of people. It just make me feel like, oh yeah, that's in my dream when I was a kid. Like I want to stand in front of people and smile and wearing beautiful clothes, even though my height pretty limit. But I think when you got up to the stage and just show how confident you are, and that's all the key of become the successful in this model industry.
Very good. And we were talking before, if anybody that follows you is probably jealous of how much energy you have. You show up practically at every major show in the area, plus photo shoots, plus work, plus I see you on social media working out at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what is driving this girl? Where does she get this energy? What's your secret? How do you do all that?
So I really don't know. Maybe I need to ask my mom, when she pregnant, what kind of secret she has. But me, I feel be a positive person and just happy with whatever you have, and just happy for whatever people have. So I think that's it, the key, that to be happy and be positive, that full of energy.
Very good. I just got a message from a friend of mine, Pete. The audio on Facebook is always off. That's Facebook. It's not us. Just so you know, okay? So if it looks a little skewed on Facebook, it's not us. It's Fem. So just that's the way it is, unfortunately. So Katie, you've done a lot of shows, runway. I used to manage a young lady who was only 5'2" many years ago. We're talking 11 years ago. Her name was Jessica Graff, and we went to a runway. What do you call it? A runway pageant. So the girls were on the runway. They had to prove how good of a runway model they were, and she entered it as kind of a joke, and she ended up winning it. And she was competing against young women that were 5'9", 5'10", and at 5'2", and it was about her presence, the way she looked at the audience, the judges, and everything else, and that's how she won. And it was like, how the heck did this girl pull this off? And you remind me of her. Your energy on the catwalk, how you look at people, engage with them with your eyes and your body movements. It's very similar. And that pageant that she won here was the New England version of it. And she ended up going to LA where she competed with other models from around the country, and she still placed. You know, they didn't really want her to win, I'll be honest with you. All the designer stuff that they brought in was for women that were 5'7" and taller. So the designers had to trim the dresses to otherwise she'd be falling over on the runway. So you do remind me of her, and you get that same persona and attitude on the runway that I think works for people that are petite. So if you're out there and you're petite, take Katie as an example that you can still do runway now more than ever, because it's more inclusive now than it ever used to be. If you take a look at the runway shows of today versus 10, 15 years ago, you will see a lot more variety than you ever used to before. So Katie, I think you hit this at just the right time. So you've done a lot of shows. Do you prefer runway or modeling, like print modeling? What do you prefer?
I think I enjoy both, just to be like pretty and in front of camera. But when I'm on the stage, I feel like myself more, because just, you know, not smile, but like the fear face, and just show people that like, oh yeah, everyone look at me, even though like, you know, like you don't have that height of model, but like you still show up and be pretty and show the confidence. So being on the stage, on the runway, is definitely like more myself than in the studio. But of course, like taking photo and working with so many like professional photographer is definitely my favorite as well.
Very good. So we got a couple pictures for you too. So let's take a look. These are some of your modeling shots. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is phenomenal. You can, even in these pictures, you can see how good a model you are. And I'm assuming that this is coming naturally to you. Is this correct? Did you have to learn anything?
I did not.
You did not?
Yeah.
So these are just natural looks into the camera. You engage the camera. Yeah. I love that. Let's see what we got next here. These are now, okay, the one on the right's a modeling shot. The one on the left is a runway shot.
Yeah.
That's New York, isn't it? On the left?
It was
the Sony Hall?
Sony Hall for Sabrina, yeah.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Okay. And the one on the right, I love the dress. Well, is that a laundromat? Oh my God, it's a laundromat. I love it. Okay, let's see what else we got here. All right, this was at the Fashion Awards this year.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see, which designer was the left one? I honestly, I was at the Fashion Awards, but I didn't see the Fashion Awards.
So
I was too busy.
One is Damos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Which one is that?
The red dress.
The red dress? Okay, yeah. All right. And do you recognize the other one?
That's Bloom.
Okay. Bloom lingerie in Cohasset. Okay, all right. That's fun. That's just awesome. Okay, let me go back here. Thank you, Kayla. Because honestly, I like I said, I didn't see the show. I didn't see any of the show. I was too busy working behind the scenes to see any of it, unfortunately. So maybe I'll go back and see the video when I have some time. Katie, you won the award this year. I would like to tell you that it was no contest at all. You won it hands down. Even the peer vote was lopsided. So even if the popular vote wasn't in your favor, you would have ended up with the award anyway, because the peers that voted look at your stuff and they said, this girl's great. So thank you very much for gracing our runway twice now, and we hope we have you back again next year. And she even showed up for the audition, which honestly she didn't have to do. But thank you for that's how diligent a model that she is. So thank you very much for that. So what's in the future for you, Katie? What are your plans? What are your goals?
My goal in fashion Boston industry, I just want to be like get involved more in the show in Boston. And I just want to highlight one thing here that I really appreciate BOGO Split, that there's a time that every Friday I come to the show, and no matter what, like the day I have at work, like you guys at the end of the day, like you guys give me joy and happiness to be like on the stage of BOGO Split. So I just say I really appreciate you guys.
Wow, that's great.
But yeah, definitely I want to get involved more to get involved to like all the event in Boston, even like Boston, New York, or whatever, like fashion. It's like I want to be involved, and I want to be like, be like show my confidence and inspire other people out there, other girls out there that they're afraid to get on the stage. So I just
that's good.
yeah.
That's exactly right. You're giving them, you're a good role model to say, hey, anybody can do this if as long as you work hard and try. Okay, and that's important. And like you're doing too, networking, going out and meeting people and being a part of it. I always tell people, that I work with, I can't sell you if you're not in the room. It's not as easy. It's much easier when you're in the room and people can see who you are, and what you're capable of doing. And that just like when Kayla met me, she was in the room, she met me, and then I became very fascinated by if she just called me or emailed me, I wouldn't probably pay as much interest in it, but when you meet somebody in person, it's still I know it's old fashioned, but it works better than anything else. You know why? Because they've now made a real connection with you, not just a pseudo connection, but the real connection means more to people. Absolutely. I did the same thing back in the day when I used to manage a major label hip hop group, and I told them, I go, okay, internet's great, fine, but it's not the end all be all. You have to go out and meet people. That's what makes your record sell. That's what makes your music popular. So that's the same thing goes for the fashion industry. Okay, Mark here doing the charity events and getting involved in projects and showing his work and meeting people and honing his craft. Katie here going to practically everything that comes up on her screen for social media. Kayla here doing the same thing. You, Kennelly, and Adriano are showing up everywhere and doing all kinds of. The other day I saw Kennelly at a show that I went to, or an event that I went to, and he was just there for a second and gone the next, just like me actually. But he was like making the rounds, making sure he shows up, making sure somebody shows up, and that's important. And you too, Megan, you're showing up at all these different places. That's how I saw you, So these things happen, and people make connections, and that's how it keeps going for you. If you decide to sit on your butt, I know I'm talking a lot here, but if you decide to sit on your butt, no one's going to come to you. You got to make it happen. All right. Mark, anything else you'd like to add for tonight?
I think I'm so thankful to this community, and I know Katie talked a lot about Bogus Split as well. I've not had the chance to work with them yet, but I've heard so many wonderful things, and I see all the wonderful things they do for the community, as well as just our fashion and beauty community at large. I am one of those people that is a butt sitter. I do not go to a ton of events. I am very, very introverted, but I find that I've made so many wonderful connections online that translate to other work. I mean, Katie and I found out that we've been friends on Instagram for a long time, and today is our first day actually meeting, but we've been friends on Instagram for a couple of years now.
Now you get to work more with each other.
Yeah.
Well, you said you're a butt sitter, but you're not really a butt sitter because you still go out and you do work and you make connections in the jobs that you have.
Again, behind the scenes guy. You'll find me backstage doing things, but I very rarely go to the events, but I'm working the events.
That's what I'm saying, okay? You're still there in a sense. Okay, so that's good. All right, so we got some more stuff for you guys now. Megan's going to pass these over. I'd say, okay, is that one? Make sure each one gets the proper one.
That one's for Mark.
Okay, Mark, why don't you open it up and take a look and show everybody?
This one's for Katie.
Thank you.
Okay. Katie's got hers and Mark's got his.
Just the honor.
Hopefully I did that right.
Yep.
Just a little. There you go, Mark. That's beautiful. Cool. Where's that going to go, Mark? Where's it going to go?
This is probably going to go in my studio right next to. I keep a lot of the little lanyards from shows that I work, so this will probably go right on the mantle.
Yeah.
With
that's
all
better
those
than
lanyards.
a lanyard, right?
By far.
Very good. Okay, now time for Katie. Here we go. Oh, there you go. Hard work pays off. Let's just say it that way.
Thank you so much.
You're very
I feel
welcome.
so honored, and it just motivates me so much in follow my passion and just be confident out there.
I want to tell people that after she won, hi Kennelly. After she won, she brought her family up to meet me and her sister, and they were so proud of you. That meant more to me than anything. I'll be honest with you. And that's phenomenal that you shared it with your family that night. So I hope you get to share this with them too. Where are you going to be putting that?
Definitely, it will be very special place in my apartment, and I will see it every day before I get out the door, and when I get back to the home, back to the house, it just remind me that like something I should proud of myself and just keep it up.
Very good. I like that. Okay, so I'm glad you guys were able to be a part of the event, and and give you these awards. There's a lot of deserving people, don't get me wrong, but usually everyone makes the right choice based on the work that they see, and whether they know you or not, there's people that appreciate the work that you do. Okay, and it's my pleasure to bring this event to everybody in this area each and every year, and see the faces of the people when they not only win, but when they feel like they've arrived. It's like that moment, like, hey, what I've been doing actually means something, not just to me, but to others too. The perfect music playing for this too. It sounds so sentimental and sweet. But it's like I said, it's hard work for me. It's costly too, but it's worth it to because I've been a part of this community for many, many years, and it's treated me very well. So this is one way that I've been giving back, at least for the last 13 years that we've been doing it. Actually, 13 years coming up. And we're going to be expanding. People that have followed my social media saw that I announced this past week that in 2025, we're going to be expanding to Miami and doing the Miami Fashion Awards. It's something I've been sitting on for a while, but I needed to do it at the right time. I wanted to do it several years ago, but the COVID situation caused me to put it on the back burner for a while. But things are right now. Things are very, very much in place for doing this, and so we're expanding. I've always thought of Miami and Boston as yin and yang. They're like sister cities. When it's beautiful out here, it's miserable in Miami, and when it's beautiful in Miami, it's miserable here. And so they coincide. They sync very well together. So we'll be heading south for the winter in 2025 to put on that event, but there will still be a big Boston connection when we do that event. There's a lot of designers that are started here in Boston that now call Miami home, and so we're looking forward to working with them, and along with meeting brand new people in that area. So that's something to look forward to, not in 2024, but 2025. It takes a while to get things ramped up, but we've already set the wheels in motion. Kayla, you coming with me? You don't like my bags. You don't like the freaking cold, so it's almost like I'm heading south for the winter. Bye, everybody, and maybe we'll have Megan come down, and I don't know. We'll
my
try.
Bags are also packed.
They're packed too.
There you go. Flight together.
We're leaving on a jet plane, heading south for the winter. But yeah, Miami's a great place to be at that time of year, and the whole artistic. You got Art Basel and all these other things going on. So it really is a great atmosphere to be a part of it at that time of year. And we want the magic to continue all year round if we could, but we got to be a little realistic. The Liberty, things like that, they try to keep things going. But that Boston has its place, Miami has its place. But those are two places that I really find near and dear to my heart. And so I'm very excited about moving on to Miami in 2025. So I think that about wraps it up for right now. I hope you guys come back and visit us sometime. I'm talking to Mark and Katie.
Anytime.
And keep creating. That's very important. Keep your head up. And, there's always going to be something that maybe lets you down once in a while. But, overall, I would say you guys get a good attitude, great careers, hardworking, and whatever negativity there is out there, you'll overcome it. That's the way I look at it. Okay. Kayla, what's up? You guys going to be at the Liberty tomorrow?
Tomorrow night, join us. DJ and the pop-up shop will start at 9 p.m. and then the fashion show will start at 10. We have 4 local designers showcasing. They're brand new. Some of them, these are their first shows. A few, this is like their second. So we're really, really excited to spotlight them and highlight that. So come hang out with us tomorrow night.
Very good. And Megan, what do you got planned for this week? Anything special?
Probably going to Fashion Week late tomorrow. In addition to that, I have a photo shoot actually with Makeshift Studios on Friday in Rhode Island with Luminous Views and at LV Studio. So super excited for that. And Sunday is the Young Footwear Fashion Show at Style in the Mill. So it's a very busy weekend, but you got to get it in before the holidays.
He's another hustler in a good way.
Makeshift is actually going to be there tomorrow too.
Look at this. I love this. Everyone's
love
going
Chris.
somewhere. Me, I'm going home, and I'm going to watch the Patriots tomorrow night. I'm going to watch them lose tomorrow night. I'm a huge Patriots fan. I'm not going to jump off the bandwagon because
Keep hanging on, Mike.
I'm hanging on.
know.
Hey, you gotta take the good with the bad in life, okay? So we've enjoyed 20 years of great football. We got to take the bad too. I'm just going to laugh and have a good time and just, I don't care. It's still a fun thing to watch. Okay, it's fun to watch them lose too. I'll be honest with you. I was like, yeah, you guys suck. Great. So next week we're going to be giving away more awards. We've got one of your clients coming in, one of your favorites, Mel the Clothing. Melissa's coming in for next week, and a few other surprises too. So stay tuned for next week. Thank you very much for coming. We'll have more Christmas stuff going on, and we'll get more and more into the holiday spirit next week. So stay tuned next week, and thank you again, everyone, and happy holidays, everybody.
Happy
Good night.
holidays. Good night.
Bye.